Hi, this is Buck Malick. This is another episode of Western Wisconsin Journal. Today I'm here with Dave Jarvis. He's the captain of this ship, the Grand Duchess. We're in the port of Hudson, I suppose we'd say. We're at Lakefront Park in Hudson next to the dike. And this is the place where the Duchess is moored and where the tours go from. As you'll learn later in this episode, there's a long history of cruise ships from Hudson in the Jarvis family. Right now we're at the place where a visitor to the ship would board the ship, and I wanted Dave to point out to you some of the details about how the ship is moored to the pier and that sort of thing. Dave, what are these lines called and what do they mean?
Well, they're just that. They're lines, and our first mates will tie up the boat with the lines. As we're coming into the dock, we typically will lasso around this pole right here with our bow line, which is the front line, and then we use that as a pivot point to bring the stern or the back end of the boat, and we tie up the back end of the boat around that piling. And as you can tell, they're massive pilings, so when it's very windy out, we have inclement conditions, they're very sturdy. And then these are what you call spring lines. So we have a forward spring line and a backward spring line and another spring line that just keep us in place so we're not moving forward or backward once we have the boat secured at the front of the boat, the bow, and the back of the boat, the stern.
Great, thanks Dave. I kind of thought folks would be interested in that. Now let's go on board the ship and we'll look at some other parts of it.
Sure.
So here we are on the main deck, right Dave?
Yes.
And right behind us is the place where everybody eats. What's the nautical term for that?
Dinner.
I should have known. All right. So you lay out the food and people can find that on your website too, can't they?
Yes.
Examples of your beautiful food.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you have Italian and sometimes you have other ethnicities.
Right.
And so on. So yes, I think over the years I've had all of it and it's always been a good experience.
Yeah. We have fajita themed cruises and Italian themed cruises, brunch cruises, so all sorts of different events for the general public.
And sometimes you have cruises that have to do with entertainment, don't you?
Right.
Humorists?
Yep, comedy cruises, we have wine tasting cruises, all sorts of fun events.
Yeah.
Even fireworks.
And even fireworks. So here's the place where this is, and as the viewers can tell, this is not weather dependent, isn't it? In almost any weather you can go out.
Yeah, it's a 122-foot, mini ship essentially. It was built for Lake Michigan. So if it can handle Lake Michigan, it can handle the St. Croix River. There's 3 levels, and we can seat, well over a couple hundred people.
Ah, I see. And you can feed that many too?
Yeah, yep, up to 300 people.
Let's take a look at the galley.
We have our vessel station bill, which just indicates what position and crew member does what in the case of like a man overboard or fire drill, because we're regulated by the United States Coast Guard since it's a federal water. So we're all licensed U.S. Coast Guard masters.
So this says what the captain will do and what the first witness will do and the first mate will do, second mate, lead, bartender, or deckhand. They all have a job. And here's your county public health license.
Right.
You got a Minnesota food manager license, I see. Yeah.
And then all the food is really prepped in here. Well, it's prepped and catered from a restaurant, but then it's serviced out of here. So we have hot holding units right here to keep hot food hot. We have all kind. You can't tell, but refrigeration. There's all sorts of refrigeration here to keep cold food cold, and ice machine, dishwasher, another cooler in here. So really a full galley, a full kitchen.
Now you mentioned the food being initially made off-site, and I assume that's at your Afton house.
It is. Yep. It's at our restaurant. Right. Yep.
Which you also own and operate, and have for many decades, haven't you?
47 years since 1976.
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot of meals. So you've actually got wash stations here with running water, hot and cold water to wash the dishes and all that. Where does the wastewater go?
Wastewater goes into our holding tank, so we've got a big, actually right behind us, but big like
in a lower deck? Or
yeah,
lower
like
down in
almost
the
like a
house?
septic tank, and then you pump it out every so often.
I see. You're not allowed to discharge your waste straight into the river.
No,
Even if
can't
you
do that.
wanted to.
Nope.
Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Let's look somewhere else on this ship. So here we are on the second deck, right, Dave?
Yes, sir.
And out there over the bow, what are we looking at there?
Just a nice area outside where people can relax and kind of take in the scenery. It's an outdoor deck and the very front of the ship.
And then when we go over this way, this must be the bar.
It is, yep. Full service bar, beer, wine, cocktails, soft drinks. If you're thirsty, we have it.
Nice. And more tables, this time with a slightly higher view off the water.
Exactly, yeah. Great for, just checking out the scenery. There's a dance floor at the back as well for weddings and events with DJs.
And it looks like there's a door to an open area over the stern, too. Is that another lookout type area?
Yep, another observation deck in the very back of the boat.
And is there a locker here with life jackets?
On the first level and then on the third level, which we can see.
Okay. So Captain Dave, you've just welcomed me to the third deck, huh?
Yes, welcome to the third level.
And it's got a roof on it, so even if we're raining, we could be up here.
Yeah. Partial roof, and then there's an area that's not enclosed, but yeah, beautiful for sightseeing.
Yeah, and the views from here, even when we're docked, are wonderful. Going around, turning clockwise here, we first see Hudson's new beach walk, kind of, or what do they call it?
Yeah, it's a new dock, and people can walk it. Boaters can pull up and tie to it. It's a great addition to the community, and there's a public boat launch there. You've got Interstate 94 connecting Minnesota and Wisconsin. You see the nice sailing mooring area, a beautiful beach at the end of this pier, which, as you know, used to be the main bridge between Minnesota and Wisconsin back from what, 1912?
Yep, till 55 when the first
I think my dad used to give him a quarter at the toll or something like that.
Did he? and then this, we call this the Dyke Road now.
Right, right. Yep, and there's more docks right here that we're at for general public to pull up. These are the Hudson City docks where we're at.
And if we look out over there, we see the railroad swing bridge, don't we?
Right, right.
So there's a railroad line between Minnesota and Wisconsin, and has been since the early 1900s, I guess.
Yep.
No, the late 1800s. Yes. We'll ask Jackie Bradham about that. But it's the kind of bridge that swivels to open, right?
Right, right.
Now, when you take people out on one of your typical cruises, at least the ones I've been on, you start out going downstream, don't you, Dave? And what do?
Yeah, we typically head like underneath Interstate 94, and where the river really opens up. That's called the Lake St. Croix area, and it's just beautiful. There's like eagles' nests and just a wonderful area to see. We typically turn around Afton on a public cruise. Weddings and corporate events may go longer, where we would go further south, or we may go north through the railroad swing bridge there towards Stillwater. So many beautiful areas of the river, of course, but we tend to head south.
I was on one that had quite a windy storm, but your ship carried on. Evidently,
Yeah.
it can overcome the current of the river, as well as pretty significant headwinds if you have to.
Yes, yeah, and it's quarter-inch steel hull, and again built for Lake Michigan, so it handles what we see up here on this river for weather.
Pretty easily, huh? Well, I think we ought to go up into the wheelhouse next. Dave, introduce us to this other captain here.
Well, this is Captain Gordy, my father.
Gordy Jarvis, huh?
Yes.
And he's the one with the history of this?
Yeah, he purchased this boat we're on back in 1995.
Wow. You want to tell us, from your point of view, Captain Gordy Jarvis, what was it that attracted you to doing this in Hudson?
Well, the location was always a great location, and the community needed something like this, so we could take individual customers out on the boat.
Mm-hmm. And then you bought the dock, did you?
Yeah, back in 1995, actually, I purchased the docks prior to buying the vessel, and when I purchased this one in actually in Saugatuck, Michigan, and we brought it all the way around and up the Mississippi River to this location.
That must have been some trip.
It was a great trip. It was a fabulous trip.
And by the time you got here, I imagine you knew all the controls perfectly, huh?
Well, we got to know the vessel very well.
You say we. Was Dave with you at the time?
Dave wasn't with me at the time. I had two other gentlemen with me at the time bringing it up here.
I see.
Yep, and we lived right on the boat the whole time.
I'd like to make that trip sometime. But tell us about what we see here. This is the wheel, right? And it controls the rudder?
This controls the rudder, and then we also have an automatic one right over on this side that controls the rudder. And we have two radios that communicate with any other vessels on the St. Croix River or the Coast Guard, and also EMS. We have a depth finder that's over right there on that location there. And when we lose where we're at, we also have a finder right here that tells us northeast, west, or south.
That looks like an old-fashioned compass to me.
It's an old-fashioned compass, and it's one of the best.
A Danforth constellation. Wow.
And then all our gauges are here with oil pressures and their temperatures, and we also have a rudder indicator right here and our RPM gauges. We can start and stop the engines from up here. Here's where our throttles are. And then something that we use a lot on the river is this is our communication on the river. It shows exactly where all the other boats are and where we are at any given time.
And this is based on satellites?
All based on satellite, whole system.
You were telling me earlier that the ship has two diesel engines.
Correct. They're 8V71 Detroit diesels, and then we have two generators on the vessel. One is a 6V71 and the other one is a 471. The larger one will produce 500 amps, so it's a very powerful one. It's almost can run a small little town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you have twin propellers, right? Which you
Correct.
can manage from these
Yep.
controls.
That's exactly right.
So you can't exactly spin on a dime, but you can turn tighter than if you had only one propeller.
Oh, no question about it, yes. No, in a vessel this size, you would have to have two. You would really have to have two. If not, you'd have to have an awfully big bow thruster.
Yeah, and I was reading some of your certificates behind Dave there on the wall, and I gather that you have a capacity of 314 persons, which I don't know if each one of them weighed 200 pounds. That'd be quite a bit of weight, but not a problem for a ship.
Not a problem.
Like this.
No, not a problem at all. Yep. And we've had that many people on board the vessel, and it's been just fine. Just fine. Also, we have a very large water tank, which is 3,000 gallons, and our sewage tank that we have holding, because all of our sewage from the vessel goes into the tank, and that's 3,000 gallons. So we have quite the capacity.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's quite a little weight too. Do you need ballast on a ship like this?
No, the boat, when it was designed and balanced correctly with the full load of everything on here. It's called an incline test. And so they max it out as much as possible, and then they give you the amount of people you can have on the vessel.
That's the stability letter right there. And this boat used to be 350 passengers. And then the Coast Guard changed the weight. The average American weight, or the weight of the average American, so that changed our capacity. It lowered our capacity, like 40 people.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Now, you couldn't have all 302 passengers and the crew all standing up on the top deck, though, could you?
No, there's limitations on each level. Each level has a limitation. Like this limitation here, I believe, is 87 people that can be up on this level right here at any given time. So yeah, I mean, all the certificates that are there are all United States Coast Guard certified.
Fascinating. Fascinating indeed. Have you ever had to toss the life buoy out?
Fortunately, only in drills.
Oh, I see.
We do man overboard drills frequently, and we do an exercise with the U.S. Coast Guard annually,
I see.
where we do a man overboard procedure.
That reminds me.
And security drills. So we were talking, we're part of the, we fall underneath the Department of Homeland Security's rules within the U.S. Coast Guard. So we have a security plan for the vessel. And that's I guess our certificate of the security plan. So it's come on board the boat and know you're going to be safe.
Yeah, if under some circumstances, to make everybody safe, you would do inspections of people as they board if necessary.
Yep, possibly baggage searches and screening.
Yep. Well, it's good to be safe. Yes. So that's nice. And I think the viewers would probably like to hear your horn.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
One long blast means ready to leave.
That's exactly right.
That's
We're
what
getting
you're
ready.
Right.
Oh, that's great. Did I miss anything here in the, what do you call this, the wheelhouse or the pilot's house? Or
Pilot's house.
pilot's house?
Pilot's house.
Yeah.
And all the young people like to come up here and help with the captain.
Do they? And I bet you enjoy that.
Yeah, we got all kinds of pictures with young people.
Oh, yeah. People can,
Children love it.
they can do selfies with you
Yes,
or Dave.
either one.
Yeah.
Or any other captain.
How would Mark Twain feel if he walked in here into this wheelhouse compared to the wheelhouses he was in on those paddle wheelers, side wheelers, stern wheelers back in the 1800s, huh?
Well, those were quite some vessels. I mean, they operated really well, and they were some real professional people that could operate them. This is a little bit more sophisticated than what it was back then. That's for sure. Yeah.
They didn't have chart plotters and radar and satellites to help them.
Dropping a weighted line, right? And yelling by the Mark Twain.
Right.
Yes, yeah. You don't do that because you got depth finders. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dave, you've been here doing this through lots of bird migrations, haven't you?
Yes, yeah.
And you mentioned earlier eagles and ospreys and all that kind of stuff. I'd kind of like to ask you an overall question. If you think the Wild and Scenic Rivers Act is a positive thing for your business.
Yeah, for sure it is. Walter Mondale, he was vital to having that passed or having the St. Croix River included in 1972, the Wild and Scenic River Act. But it allows communities and municipalities to adopt zoning regulations to keep things a little bit more natural. You can't just cut trees down. More earth tone colors and less conspicuous structures. It's great for wildlife. Peregrine falcons and loons and ducks and geese and American bald eagles and just the osprey and the beautiful wildlife that we have here along the St. Croix River.
So do your cruise passengers get to see that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, of course.
You have cruises during the spring and the fall migration season?
We do, yep. And the fall's gorgeous with the leaves changing and seeing an eagle fly through, it's a pretty special place.
Is that one reason people choose this for their weddings and their special events?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, it doesn't get any more beautiful than this, does it, in the Midwest?
Well, I agree with you. We've been here since '79 and don't want to live anywhere else. I think your cruises are a very important part of Hudson's atmosphere, of its culture.
Yeah.
And anybody who's thinking of coming to Hudson should try to get out on the river, and your cruises are one of the ways.
Yeah, I think you think of Hudson, you think of the arch, you know, you think of the church steeple, you think of the dinner boats, the pier. It's a wonderful community.
Thanks, Dave. So that's another episode of Western Wisconsin Journal. Dave Jarvis, and you saw Gordy Jarvis earlier, and I'm Buck Malick. Thank you.